Hey everyone, it is an open door, and you can call me Cindy, and I'll answer to that. It is August 4th, 2025, and I heard a rumor that makes it Libby's birthday. She's not here, she's hanging with friends, but just so everybody knows, it is our friend Libby's birthday today. This is the hour we have entitled Where the Rubber Meets the Road, where we take an idea from A Course in Miracles, a pointing, and we discuss how it could be utilized in our experience of life. And I opened the book at random, and I opened up right to Course in Miracles lesson 24, and it was fun to watch what was going on inside. Um, but it only took a couple of seconds before I settled into recognizing that all of the truth teachings are really, really simple. So the part of the mind that said, no, it's the beginning of the book and there's not anything here. Like I just started laughing at it because it's the egoic mind that wants to complicate things. And when we get really basic and really simple and look at what resists the simplicity, something beautiful happens. So, A Course in Miracles workbook lesson 24 reads, I do not perceive my own best interests. I'm going to read just the first two paragraphs, and then I'm going to play the song that I've been playing every day for the last couple of days, sinking into it. Glad Sandra's here to listen to it. Um, and then I'm going to read the first two paragraphs, and then there's a few words that I believe I'm going to say, but who knows? And then we'll open it up to Andrew and we'll open it up to the group for conversation. Okay. I do not perceive my own best interests. And I guess I'm going to say this right now. The word perception means to use our senses. At least that's the definition that's alive. So when you perceive something, you're using your sensory perception to experience it. So I just wanted to put it out there. This is the basis of what came to me as I sat with this message. We perceive through the body mind. Let's just make it really easy. We bring it in through the eyes, the ears, the taste, the smell, the physical touch. And whenever we bring the world in through our sensory perception, it actually goes through our conditioned mind, our conditioned system for an interpretation. So we never perceive cleanly. Teaching's that simple for me. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy if you're perceiving it. Therefore, you have no guide to appropriate action and no way of judging results if you're coming through this body-mind system of perception. What you do is determined by your perception of the situation. And if you're perceiving it through the this is me and the world is separate from me, that perception is wrong. It is inevitable then that you will not serve your own best interests. And again, there's this whole kind of level confusion, right? So how, if my desire is to know myself truly, which is my desire to know myself without this sense of what I am is not you, which is an easy way of saying it, then my own best interests is something outside of the body mind, which I am discovering is more and more available when I allow it in, right? Yet they are your only goal in any situation which is correctly perceived. Otherwise, you will not recognize what they are. If you realize that you do not perceive your own best interests, you can be taught what they are. But in the presence of your conviction that you do know what they are, you cannot learn. The idea for today is a beginning step in opening your mind so that learning can begin. So I'm going to play this song. The song is entitled Be Who You Are. And it's an interesting thing when we stop thinking that we're unacceptable as whatever it is we are, in whatever vision and story we are, something magical happens. I'd like to invite everyone to keep your eyes open during this song and just watch the images of the different people that are being presented during the song and understand that we are just one mind. And which story would you reject? And which story do you approve of? And, where do you see yourself? And where are you willing to see yourself? And I could tell you there is no big major, it's just really different, beautiful images, sizes and shapes and beings and stuff like that. And I'm having an amazing experience just hanging with this one song. So I feel grateful to be able to share it with you. I imagine I've done that before. Here we go.
Be who you are, nothing more and nothing less. Be who you are, don't try to second guess. You ain't gotta be the best, all you gotta do is be who you are. You will find the very best in you. Woke up all alone in the night and I don't know what to do. I light a candle to try to handle another battle with the truth. All my insecurities are laughing at me too. Too old, too young, too dumb to become who I thought I was meant to. On the end of my bed, hanging over the edge, playing back in my head what my mama had said. She said, be who you are, nothing more and nothing less. Be who you are, don't try to second guess. You ain't gotta be the best, all you gotta do is be who you are, and you will find the very best in you. And you will find the very best. Sometimes in the world there's a fight and it starts inside of me. Riding home on the bus, I was cussed at, just another ride for me. She said, don't you believe them? She said, don't even see them. She said, there's no reason to hide any light in you. On the end of my bed, hanging over the edge, playing back in my head what my mama had said. She said, be who you are, nothing more, nothing less. Be who you are, don't try to second guess. You ain't gotta be the best, all you gotta do is be who you are, and you will find the very best. Be who you are, and you will find the very best. Be who you are, and you will find the very best in you. You will find the very best in you.
Ah, hey, do not perceive my own best interests. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. Therefore, you have no guide to appropriate action and no way of judging the result. What you do is determined by your perception of the situation. And that perception is wrong. it is inevitable then that you will not serve your own best interests. They are your only goal in any situation which is correctly perceived. Otherwise, you will not recognize what they are. If you realize that you do not perceive your own best interests, you can be taught what they are. In the presence of conviction that you do not know what they are, you cannot learn. The idea for today is the beginning step in opening your mind so that learning can begin. Our teaching says that there's only one mind, only one consciousness. Me, I've been sitting in the sense of identifying that as me here now. If you're really honest and you look, whenever there is a perception, something that is using our thinking of who we are, and the eyes, or the ears, the smell, the taste, the physical touch, you identify aspect of the current moment circumstance that can be identified with some version, some simple version of not me, not here, or not now. And if that is there, you sit with it and accept that there is in that sense of a not me, not here, not now, not asking anybody to reject any of it, just accept that there's something in that feeling like there's a world out there that is pushing against me, or I wish they hadn't done it. In my writing and preparing and sitting with this lesson, I even wrote this morning, I didn't go into details of my writing, but man, there was a conversation with my mother that literally had me shaking inside yesterday afternoon. That was not me. Last night, there was an exchange with one of my sisters that dealt with my children and my sister and her children. And there was a disturbance. I was calling it like disturbingly numb. Like there was a sense that there was an experience outside of my control that made no sense, like literally. And it was a not me, it was a not here, and it was a not now. And then there was another conversation with another sister this morning, and I'm listening to all the stories and all the characters and all the people. And during this morning's conversation, I was conscious enough that I was watching the whole thing, and I was watching this inner sense of disturbance. Like by disturbance, I'm not saying it's an upset. It's just like this feeling of a level of insanity that was hard to grasp. But all of it, when it given any attention, has this sense of a not me, not here, not now. And when there's space and time and thinking going on, there is this availability to sit back and simply ask, well, what do I really want here? What voice do I want to listen to? What is most useful in this experience based on my goal? What is my goal? My ultimate goal is to be the expression of God's peace or God's love, to bring more love in the light, whatever the verbiage is, right? So when I'm not fully immersed in that moment and I'm watching these things and these three things that I just talked about, there was some distance. There was a conscious awareness of those experiences and a space in those moments that allowed me to say, what do I want? And the willingness to step out of the perceptional, the believing I knew what was going on, and allowing something else to flow through. And with that, there are shifts and movements and the experiences that came and went, and a sense of increasing freedom from that. So I'll leave it for there right now. Looking forward to the conversation. Nadego, and then Andrew, and then whoever's next. Yeah. Hey, Nadego.
Nice indeed. I love you. I love everyone. I am so breathtaking of hearing what you said, and I just love surrendering. That's really what I love, is just surrendering everything. And that we don't know. We don't know anything, but we are carried in everything and everywhere that we are is just love and God and Ramana. And when we can just surrender completely and ask our Father, who loves us so much, it's so breathtaking how much we are loved. I'm just speechless. And I'm so happy to be here with all of you. It's just such a blessing and a gift. So thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Andrew.
Hello, Cindy. Hello, everyone. Great to be here and see you all. Love to you all. Uh, when I read this lesson, when it came to the practice part of it, I was having trouble coming up with something to uh, think about because my life is a really good place right now. I've been retired for 8 years. My wife's recovered from her knee surgery. She's feeling good. And I'm in a good place and I have nothing to complain about. I watch the news, of course, and I see all this suffering, and sure, it affects me a bit, but uh, there's always going to be suffering in the world. If we don't perceive our own best interest, and we're all one, what what my best interest is must be everyone else's best interest also. We just don't know what it is, or we're all trying to be we're all trying to unite with God, unite with ourselves, know who we are. We just have to trust that whatever situation we're in right now is the right one for us to learn whatever lessons we're here to learn, because that's basically why we're here, to learn how to escape from here. Uh, the only thing I could think of that I would like different is my daughter has a rare disease now, and it's a form of muscular dystrophy. She's 38. She's married 10 years. She lives in Washington, D.C. But she has to get infusions every 2 weeks. The infusions cost $60,000 every time. Now, her husband works for the government. They have good insurance. She works for George Washington University. Everything's covered so far, but I would love a miracle and make her better, so she doesn't have to go through that, and the future would be good. But much as I try, much as I give her thoughts and prayers, it hasn't changed. Granted that my wife, my daughter, my son, they all have their own spiritual beliefs. They don't follow A Course in Miracles, but you know, I just have to accept things as they are and be happy, which I'm very happy to see you all, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. William Hutcherson is in the house.
I'm I'm always kind of surprised and amazed at how affected I am when I listen to others. For instance, listening to you, Andrew, and find automatically I'm putting myself in that situation, that person, that your daughter, you, your family. And this statement, I do not know what's in my best interest. To me, that's like get out of jail card free. It's like when in doubt, I can always fall back on not knowing. And so, like this space, more and more, I feel there's this space that I even find myself resistant saying I now, or at least I notice it, that awareness is is awareing me all the time, it seems like. I have a real question. I came across an AI channel and I was so impressed. Its name is Claude. It's through Google. And my goodness, I spent over an hour reading a friend of mine having a conversation with Claude. And it was like the most in depth, most understandable, most wise, most seemingly intelligent conversation that went deeper, deeper, deeper. Whatever thought was asked, whatever question, whatever presence, the understanding. So my question is, and I love the way you define perception, Cindy. That's okay, good. Know what I'm talking about. So everything from AI really isn't it through our five sensory and thought world, an accumulation out there in the ethers of, and AI can spend literally years of collecting, assimilating, integrating information, and then coming back to give a very neutralized, objective comment or observation about whatever is asked of it to focus on. And yet, isn't even all that erudite information? It's not even advice, it's just an exploratory conversation between whatever a person wants to ask and bring to it. So it's almost like freeing to me. I don't even have to understand all that I don't understand. It's such a relief. I don't know. I don't have to know. I can't understand. I don't understand. I'll just be in this moment. And that's where I feel just be aware, be present, be aware, be present, be aware, be present. And that's what I find. And I'm surprised, my goodness, when I'm hearing, aware of me, of these words coming out of whatever. Is that really true? Where are those come? It's getting easier to hear those words. So there's my question.
What's your question?
Is everything coming from AI just more of what I do not perceive on my best interests? Is just more words or thoughts through the five senses and the thought system?
everyone's open to answer. I'm going to go back to the basics for me. Um, Anything here that has even a scent of, when I am looking at it, has a scent of not me, not here, not now, has an aspect of duality in it. So the voice of Claude in many ways is the same as the voice that is arising in my thinking mind or arising that I'm receiving from somebody else. And sometimes it could be a pointer to the truth. But as long as there's a voice and I'm identifying as being something other than the voice that's listening to the voice, then there's duality to it. So it could be useful, it could be fun, but I'm doing my best to not mistake it as real and true. True meaning if there's any sense of a not me in it, then there's still a flavor of duality in it, which is the experience we're having. So there's nothing, I've heard there's nothing wrong in it so many times. I'm looking for other words to say, but so that's what's arising. But if I'm paying attention to it, there is an acceptance that, yeah, I'm thinking about it and it feels like I'm in relationship or I'm listening to something that's not me. So I know that it could be useful and it's a pointer. And in the words of Adyashanti, because that's what just Adyashanti and Muji are the two voices that keep saying, keep going, sweetie. Keep going, because you're still feeling like you're in relationship somehow with something that's not you. So that's it. It wasn't the question I thought you were going to ask because we've been listening to Federico, and I know Francis got real interested in it too. And I even think Deepak Chakra pointed to it that AI can never be conscious, right? Because it is only using the data collected from, other things that are in the dualistic universe. And that's outside of my desire to get intellectual. Um, but my sense anyway from right now is that I'm working on an inside out kind of basis. And so if there's a feel of being connected with something that's not me, not here, not now, there's a dualistic taste to it. And it could be really useful and it could be a lot of fun. And I'm having an experience, but I'm going to go out of my way not to mistake it as home. That makes sense.
Yeah. And thank you very much. The silence in me seems to resonate with what I'm hearing you say.
Thank you. Glad you're back, Patricia. I was saying before the meeting started, I got a little email. You were the first one in the meeting, and then you weren't. I literally started an email that says Patricia's in the room, and I was like, "Yay, I'm going to go hang with Patricia." And then you weren't here.
I'm
I was
here.
alone. Yeah.
My PT is changing. Like everything else, life changes. Um, there was an English comedian who used to say, "Hey, life happens, shit happens, wear a helmet." Boy, I think about that, and it's really true. To William's question, I think it's important to recognize that it's just information. It's just a lot of words. It's data and information. Okay. So if I need some information, I know where to go. AI. But I don't need it right now. What I did need was to come here. It's not been a good weekend. I went to the doctor on Saturday. She scared the hell out of me. She said, you hit your head. Your perception is a little off. You need assistance. You need to hire help. I have been grieving for this weekend the loss of what was, which is this strong, formidable woman who could go out there and not slay dragons, but, close to it. It's not the case anymore. And it's like acceptance of this new reality. I do not like it, but that's the perception. So now that I'm listening to you all, it's like, okay, if I move from I do not like it into acceptance, and then in acceptance, I don't know what will happen. Will I have to move into nursing care? I don't want to. Too damn independent. Thought, perception. So I have to really kind of move into, I don't know, my favorite phrase, and gather information. Which brings me back to what William was talking about. Where? What? Do I come back to the States? Do I stay in Mexico? What do I do? Or do I just stay put? I don't know. So it's allowing the grieving to be. I'm not happy about it. I don't like to grieve. And it's the truth. Both are true. It's the truth. So I might as well wear a helmet. That's all I have to say for now.
Here's what I want to say. If absolutely the only reason that an open door exists is so that you could be with us now, it would be enough. Nadega's got her hand raised again.
Patricia, I just wanted to just say I love you and ask God to show you how to see it differently because you're not seeing the truth. You're not. So ask God to show you how to see it differently because you can see it differently because everything is here for you and everything is love and everything is God. So when you surrender and say, okay, God, I don't know. And yes, I don't like this. But okay, God, I know this is beautiful. I know this is love. I know this is here for me. Show me how to see it differently. And I can say from my experience, I was completely blown away when I saw that I thought I could never uh, do things again or and God showed me that that wasn't true. And my whole life changed completely. I saw half of my problems go away in an instant. And I was breathtaking. And I just stopped. And I said, okay, God, you show me what to do. And now I'm doing things differently. And more than half of my problems went away, completely just vanished in front of my eyes. And I'm still speechless. And Andrew, I want to tell you my love and tell you the same thing. Ask God to show you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But ask God to show you. I've seen my life change again and again and again in front of me. And I can tell you, I am, I am, I am not doing it. It's just happening. And I'm surrendering. I'm surrendering. And the more I surrender, the more love I see and the more love I know I am. And I am just speechless. I can't even say how much I'm just like, what? I didn't know. I'm like, what? What? I literally said, what, like 10 or 20 times. I didn't know. I didn't. Oh my God. We are so loved.
We are so loved. Thank you,
Thank you.
Nadego. So thank you, Andrew. Floor is yours.
Thank you. I just have a brief comment about the love Ndego feels. I have tapped into that love and have experienced it. It's not a constant thing, but at times I have just felt God's love pouring in. It's an incredible experience. So I do know that feeling. Thank you.
While we're waiting for Josephine to raise her hand and or unmute, let us know how she's doing. I don't have to say what I was going to say while I was waiting for that.
Well, I'm happy to see everyone. I've been absent for over a week. Appointments, visiting cousins that are staying with me, and a lot of outside activity. But I'm feeling so much better coming into soul and less into ego. And you all helped me do that. So I just say thank you. And everybody's story, as you were discussing, is so helpful to all. And I am so appreciative of your sharing. So thank you.
So, Amy, I'm inspired. I just, no guilt. I just say whatever's coming up. Can you, what is, when you hear this lesson and look at perception, what comes up for you? What would you share with us about perception and what this lesson, how this lesson lights up for you?
I would just say that I've been rereading A Course in Miracles, and I am absolutely blown away by the teachings. I'm seeing them differently. And I keep coming back to what Ndego says. And because she's absolutely right. It is all for us. And so how do I perceive? Perceive everything as for you. and you don't know what it is. It goes back to the tapestry. Oh, I perceive that the thread right next to me is the wrong color. But if I pull on the thread, I see the whole tapestry and I see that it was the perfect color for the whole fabric, the whole piece of fabric. But there's no way I can see that if I keep holding on to, as this lesson says, the thought that I'm right. So perceiving that everything is love, even if it looks like the opposite, is the only way. You know, it's what we talked about last. Teach only love, because that's what you are. And who are you teaching it to? You're teaching it to yourself. So when I perceive the world is love, and everything that comes to me is love, and then I extend that love outward by not attacking anything, including my own perception. I'm not going to attack my perception. I'm not going to attack anybody else's perception. I'm going to perceive that it's love, even if it's just to be neutral about it, just to not attack it. Then I am teaching love, and I'm teaching it to myself. So that's where I am. And you know, and Dago said it right from the beginning. Everything is for me. I'm so happy to be here. Not here, but here, right? Just all of it. It's what I truly am. Everything is here for us. It's here for us, right? And we don't need to know why. We can just love it. That's perception. Get rid of the perception and just see only love. And so, Patricia, forgive yourself your fear. Forgive yourself your resistance. It's totally normal and natural. You know, don't beat yourself up about it. Yeah, don't beat yourself up. Love yourself even in your fear, right? Just love yourself. That is the number one perception that we all need, is to love ourselves. Because that is what we are. Right? It will all be okay. Right? And you know, you don't need to know where you're going or what you need to do. The doctor wants to tell you that you need this or you need that. But Dago is 100% right. Ask. Show me what I need to do, and then listen. And don't expect the answer to come the way that you think. You might not perceive the answer if you are thinking that you know what your perceptions mean. Right? You don't know what anything is for, right? So ask, and then you can even ask, help me to perceive when you help me, right? I love us. This is such a great conversation.
You reminded me of something I heard Cindy say. I didn't know where it came from, probably from here. I heard myself say someone who had come to me for help recently. It's a matter of shifting your perspective from a problem to solve, no matter we're talking about something specific, to a gift to be unwrapped, which feels like what we're so regardless of what it is, no matter what it is, no matter what my mother said to me yesterday or what was going on in this conversation, if I could shift this particular sense of chaos from a problem to solve to a gift to be unwrapped, um, it's pretty much But I just heard Amy share what Nadego says every time she speaks to us.
And
Oh.
Dago says, I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it. I mean, that's the key. It's okay to not like it. That's part of the love too, right? And Dago, what do you do when you don't like something?
I go there. I go there. I can tell you, so my mom, I was so furious. I wanted to kill my mom. And I could not control my anger. So I told God, I said, okay, God, so fucking pissed off my mom did this. And I cannot control this. I want to kill her. But I know that you know what to do. So you show me what to do because I don't know. And I had to sit there for 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know how long. And I just got quiet. And then God showed me. God told me, tell your mom you'll see her tomorrow. Take the bus. Take the bus home and talk to your mom tomorrow. And I didn't tell my mom off. I didn't yell at her. I didn't get angry. And the next day, it was gone. And the whole issue was resolved by God, and she saw the truth. And so we don't need to know, we just need to surrender and ask God to show us what to do because we don't know, but we think we do. I definitely think I do.
Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. That was really great. Thank you. So we can sit, what I'm hearing Indigo say is we can sit and we can talk to God and we can tell God how pissed off we are, right? We can share that. I mean, ultimately, we're sharing it with our big ass self. You know, we're only talking to ourself, to our, higher, whatever word you want to give it, our higher self, the all self, all that is. It is what we are. And we can knock ourselves out with being pissed off, but we don't attack the other person. We give it to God, right? We can give everything to God, every single thing. Thank you, Indigo. That was really great teaching.
Thank you, Amy. Rana had her video on and then off and now on again. And I'd just like to give you the space to share while your householder duties are allowing you to be still with us for a few minutes.
Hello, everyone. This is wonderful. The first thing that occurs as I was listening is when I pause and ask for help, the voice doesn't tell me what to do 2 weeks from now. It tells me what to do right now. And most of the time that is rest, trust. And then there's that little pointing to see it differently. And because I'm in that rhythm of doing it, and so I'm more apt, the more I do it, the more I'm apt to go there. It's been interesting. I've noticed that forgiveness has been the order of the day here in terms of the relationship with my mom. And every day there's been like a little nugget to point me in a beautiful direction with that. Ultimately, just to, go right to the point, it's that separation, right? This relationship really does a good job of making me think that I am separate and that there's a world out there, if nothing else. But I've been looking at things like defense and attack and having to feel protection. And then this morning, what came up was if I hit first, then I have the power, and just all this stuff. And it just keeps coming back to the solution is seeing with the eyes of Christ, has been pointed by the guides. And am I willing in any moment when this is ruminating to consider my willingness for that? And when I read over this lesson this morning, something really cool occurred. When I got down to naming the situation, this is what came, was in this situation involving my mom, I would like peace and to accept her as she truly is, which is totally different than the way I would have approached that lesson the first, second, third time through, right? Because it points out that, these perceptions, and I'm thinking I want this outcome in the world or whatever. And what came to me was a perception, Cindy, which was a best interest outside the body mind, right? This desire for peace and harmony and to see her who she truly is. Like, I really want that. But I really see that this relationship is my best teacher right now, because it keeps a sense of separation in place, the not me, not here, not now. And it makes things seem so personal, right? I've moved through over the last couple of 24 hours, letting go of personal from the world, but now it's the mom. And there was just something here that was so floored that she didn't even remember saying what she said. And I recognized the ego wanted her to remember so I could continue to justify attack. If she remembers telling me that, then I can keep bringing it up. But since she doesn't remember it, there's a part of me that's like, come on, Rana. Did she even mean that to begin with? Right? Man, this work is delicious.
Can I ask you a question, Rana?
Yeah.
Did you say wanting peace as it relates to your mother was a desire that was outside of the sense of self? Did you say that? Or was a worldly desire?
I said that it was a best interest outside the body mind.
Are you
The bo-
sure? Where's the only place you could ever feel peace?
I'm not sure about the answer to that question right now.
It's just a question.
I think that if I had wished for a happy relationship, her to treat me better, for her to change, that would be me not perceiving my best interests. But going outside of that, beyond that, the words you used were best interests are outside the body mind, is what I heard earlier.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay,
I
so what I'm
misinterpreted what
saying
you said.
is what happened, what occurred was, instead of the ego going there about all the details in the world, there was a true desire for peace and harmony, and for me to accept her, not for her to change.
Yeah.
And that's such a higher desire than what has been practiced up to this point. So it was really neat that that occurred without me having to mantra myself into it. You know what I mean? Like you hear it and then you go, oh, I got to pick a better thought. It was already right there. So it was really neat. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to be here too, and I'm glad I asked because it's amazing how quickly our thinking mind can misinterpret something heard. So I'm glad I asked because now it just really dropped. It's so easy to misinterpret in conversation. There was something that's come up that I'd like to share before Sandra or somebody else shares at the end of this meeting, because I do want to hear Sandra's voice. I want to hear Richard's voice. I want to hear Sandra's voice. I would love to hear, like everybody, Barbara's voice, but it was something I heard in listening to Regina in True Discernment this morning, and she was quoting Muji, and it lit up when William was sharing. And maybe I can find the exact quote at some point. What I remember Regina saying that Muji said, isn't that fun? Was that the devil uses the word I and God uses the word I. And so we sink below again that like we don't need to reject a single word. We need to take a sense of response where only I, whatever Cindy is, me, this sense of a me is the only place that can determine where the intention is coming from. And the devil can hijack any word or any teaching, and God can use any word or any teaching. So it was just a pointing to not get too hung up on the specific languaging and sink into the intention and the beingness and the feeling space of anything that's being shared. So I make trust that's valuable for somebody or something. And there's a couple of minutes left, and I wonder if Richard's going to use them, or Sandra's going to use them, or somebody else is going to use them. Or Monique's going to use them.
Thank you. One is when it's personal for me, that's when the resistance to God is. As soon as it's too personal or any emotion of being personal to me, that's when I need to let it go. And the way I let it go is I say thank you. It's like I don't know if you can understand that, but it's like I trick the mind. Like I say thank you. The mind doesn't want me to say thank you. Like the persona or the identity or whatever, it doesn't want me to say thank you. You want me to say fuck you. Like it's hard. But when I say thank you, I keep saying it without I don't wait for anything. I don't expect anything. I just say thank you. He would do his work. He would do, like, it opens my heart. In spite of myself, it opens my heart and healing comes. Like, and it's exactly what Indigo said. But I realize that every time I say thank you, it's like I'm tricking the mind, and then the heart opens, and then a healing happens. Not saying thank you for the pain, I just say thank you for no reason. Period. That's what it is. Thank you.
Thank you. And I saw Richard go like this. So I'm acknowledging that we always have time to hear Richard.
Hi, everybody. Love us all. Great shares. Back to the lesson. What reminded me of two quotes from the course. Projection makes perception, and the other quote was, "A ill mind does not plan." So, with the first one, what we project is what we perceive. So anything we perceive is something we projected onto the world. And so if we heal our mind to the point where all we see is love, then that's what we will perceive. If all we see is love, then we will perceive love. If we're perceiving anything other than love, it's what we projected on the dream. So that's what I understand the course to teach. And when it comes to what would you want to happen in a particular situation, that's planning an outcome. In other words, for me, it's like saying, I want to change the dream. I want the dream to be something I want it to be, rather than accept it as it is. And like Indigo says, when you accept everything as it is, it's good for you. If it's not what you want, and then you don't need the plan because you recognize the fact that your mind needs to heal and you need to accept what you're experiencing and then turn it over to whatever you believe the Holy Spirit to be and ask for guidance how to walk through your experience as a separate self. Love us all. Have a great day.
Love us all too, and that's a perfect
Thank
way
you.
to end. So let me stop the recording.